God's people, the Israelites, were slaves in the land of Egypt, but God had made a promise to Abraham about his family, the Israelites. God had promised Abraham that his big family would have a land of their own. He had also promised that the whole world would be blessed through Abraham's family. They'd be a community of people who loved God and served him, and they would know that God is the Lord. Moses told the Israelites that God was going to rescue them. Then Moses went to Pharaoh to tell him to let God's people go. Pharaoh wasn't very happy. Moses could tell that Pharaoh was a bit angry. Pharaoh didn't know anything about the one true God. He worshipped many false gods and even believed that he was a god. Pharaoh wasn't going to let the Israelites go just because the Lord had said so. Not only that, but he decided to make the Israelites work even harder. How do you think Moses felt when he heard the news? Well, you can tell by these parts of his face. Moses was sad and discouraged. He talked to God and told him that the Israelites were in even bigger trouble. He didn't understand why God hadn't rescued them yet. But then God made some amazing promises. He told Moses that he was going to do great things for Israel and show them that he is the Lord. Moses continued to go to Pharaoh to ask him to let God's people go so they could worship him. But Pharaoh continued to say no. So God began to send plagues to Egypt. Egypt had a huge river flowing through it called the Nile. God turned that river to blood. The people didn't have water to drink. You'd think that Pharaoh would realize that God is the Lord, but he was stubborn. He still didn't let the people go. So God sent another plague. God sent tons and tons of frogs to Egypt. They hopped into houses and beds and food. There were frogs everywhere. But Pharaoh still would not let the people go. So God continued to send plagues. He sent gnats and flies that swarmed all over Egypt. Maybe now Pharaoh would listen. But Pharaoh did not listen to the Lord. So God sent a plague on the Egyptian animals. The animals all got sick and died. But still, Pharaoh would not let the people go. Next, God sent a plague called boils. Boils are really painful sores on the skin, and they hurt and itch. But Pharaoh still wouldn't say that God is the Lord. He wouldn't let the people go. God sent hail, big chunks of ice that fell from the sky and ruined many of the crops. Next, God sent locusts. Then God sent darkness to the land of Egypt for 3 days. No one could see anything. God sent plagues to show everyone that He's the Lord. He showed the Egyptians and the Israelites that He's in control over all things. He was going to keep His promise to rescue His people and make them a community free to worship Him. And He wasn't done. Something truly powerful was yet to come.